Okay, good day everyone, and this is Nigel again today talking on this program Scholarship Secrets 10 Ways to Build a Winning Scholarship Application. As I said before, this is a part of a great teaching series that we've put together, part of our Scholarship Secrets course that we wanted to be able to share with students around the globe ways in which they can build great scholarship applications. Scholarships are given every day to international students. Last year alone, billions of dollars were given to students. I recently posted an article in which I note that not because a college is a small college means that they don't have money to give away. Very many times schools give away money for varying reasons, organizations give away money for varying reasons, and you can get your set of that money too. The critical thing is to be able to ensure that your application is spelled out in a very strong way. A part of this video also, I'm gonna be able to make available to you a free copy of my book, Learn the Secrets of Studying at U.S. Colleges and University. It's a step-by-step guide. I put it together as a scholarship guide for anyone who wants to find scholarships for international students, want to master the path, want to learn how they can get money to go to school and succeed. At the end of this video, I'm going to tell you more how you can get a copy of this book. I said before, it's available for free. I'm not going to go ahead and plug much of the book here, but the critical thing is to jump right into today's teaching you ways in which you can make your application stand out. And I'm going to tell you some of the little things you can do with your application. And thing number one, you want it to always ensure that you're a neat freak with your scholarship application. Scholarship applications are judged based on their presentation heavily. Applications that are not positioned properly cannot easily be considered influential or set themselves apart. Now, a neat application is an application that is properly packaged, it's properly labeled, have all the elements that is needed by the guidelines of the scholarship. A neat application also, it's not one that's full of scratch marks, it's full of correction fluid, it's full of all of the other things that you use when editing. As I always say to people, you make a number of rough drafts and then you make the final copy. Very many times when we look at scholarship applications, there are very little places to write. But you want to always ensure that you take your best handwriting, you put your best foot forward, and you make a very neat application. Number two, tip number two, know when to leave a blank space. Blank spaces are not always the best thing on any scholarship application, but you want to know, at least answer every question. If they ask you if you've ever worked and you're 15, 14, 13, and you've never had a career or never had a job one day in your life, the answer for that it's not applicable. It's not. Do you have a career? Do you have a job? The answer to that is no. So you need to know when to talk and when to shut up. Leaving blank spaces at times work in your best interest, but you want to always ensure that you put a candid answer that gives you a strong position point. Tip number three. Tip number three. Know that your writing need to be precise. One of the things about scholarship application is that there are very little places to write and you want to say a lot. So your writing style has to be very succinct. You have to use contractions or abbreviations, and you have to know when to use abbreviation. It's not trying to name a big laundry list, but it's trying to position yourself with authority. So know when to write with precision. Number four, know when to explain your case. Now, many times you might hear people say that, oh, you have to answer exactly if they say right in this line here. Sometimes you have to add an additional sheet of paper to justify your case. And it's perfectly acceptable if you're explaining and justifying your cause. That's critical, that's important. Number five, when you're writing a scholarship application, your goal is not to lie, but to wow this scholarship judge. If you have been a volunteer at a local hospital or a local community center, or you do reading to kids in the afternoon, and you wanted to note that you've been outstanding leading a local literacy program at a library, If you said I'm the founder of a national literacy program or a national after school program, that's blatantly lying. That's stretching the truth. Yes, you've been leading an after school program at this library. Yes, you've been reading stories to students or kids, but you want to position yourself in which you note clearly, I am a volunteer who promote literacy to students. That in itself is strong. You positioning yourself, one, as a volunteer, and number two, you're promoting literacy to students. And you can name at your local library or at the local institution, at the local church, whatever is the organization you volunteer with. You're positioning yourself with a wow factor, not lying. Too many times people want it to sound impressive and they go out making their stories up. And in so doing, they lie their way through. It can bite you in the butt. You don't want that to happen. You want to position yourself with authority, but also with strong credibility. Number 6, always know who you're speaking to. If you're applying to American, let's name a teacher federation who are giving scholarships out to deserving students. Now you understand it's a teacher federation, so they would have a preference to people who have education as their focus. They might name in their eligibility criteria that people who demonstrate leadership in education or in leading organizations, etc. And they might name some of their criteria. You want to understand that these judges have an understanding of their industry. So they're going to be looking for people who have more of a penchant towards that. Recently, I've been hearing lots of buzz on the internet about the Twilight Saga and their scholarships related to people who are fans of Twilight and certain characters related to the entire series. And if you are speaking to those people as the scholarship judges, how you position yourself and what you say have to sound as though you're speaking from someone who's familiar with the sequence, who are familiar with the Twilight series, who are familiar with the characters, and you're identifying position points that name you as a strong candidate because you fit these criteria. And you're naming it and you're paralleling it with the character. If you're writing from Matrix, you identify a character from the movie. If you're writing from uh, as an American Indian, or if you're writing from a Caribbean descendant of Mayas, if you're writing from first generation college student, you're writing to people who have an understanding of the audience. So you as a candidate would position yourself and speak their language. One of the things I always say to students, look at the organization's history. See who have won. See what type of person won last year or 2 years ago. See what made up their profile. They would have those informations available. And you can use that to your advantage. Number 7. In movies, you're always left with suspense, and the best scene is always left for the end. With scholarship application, your accomplishments and your brag sheet is always up front. You're stationing and exemplifying yourself out front. If I were to start talking about me, you would know that Nigel is not the best person in the world, but I can position myself clearly. There are not two persons who you can find as best graduating students who was a high school dropout. I got kicked out of Mackenzie High School and I graduated as a valedictorian at Christianburg Wisdom Secondary School. My name is on the board as the best graduating student. Why? Because I excel. I did not get the best grades in the country. I didn't get the best grades in the world. But among the 300 and somebody students there, I got the best grades. You have to know how to position yourself. Identify your skill set. Identify where you've been outstanding. Identify your key strengths. Make that little brag sheet your purple cow. And I always talk about purple cow. I'll explain that a little later on. Number 8. Know how to show some smarts. Scholarships is to give people money to go to college. You have to show that you have a modicum of knowledge. I said that to people when we were talking about the visa application. When you have to go to the interview at the visa embassy, you have to show smarts. Showing your smarts mean you understand the foundational principles. You're going to college. Therefore, you're going to show that you've achieved second place at your science fair. You've achieved this. You've positioned yourself to show you've gotten an academic strength. Even if your strength is writing great essays, or winning math quizzes, or being the best on the spelling bee, or placing yourself on the debate team, know your smarts. Sound articulate, but sound honest and position yourself with credibility. You might notice by now that I'm very good at speaking. Yes, I've been always very good at speaking. In fact, when I was in Form 1 at Mackenzie High, I used to be a part of Mr. Braffett's speaking club. In Form 2, I was in the speaking club too. I was in the first debate team in Form 2. But I learned those skills that I can use that I was trained as a speaker. If I'm speaking to somebody today, I can tell you some of the little things that I've done. I've had a radio show that aired on 25 radio stations across the United States. I've had a radio program that aired in 6 countries. I can say that I've been speaking to young people across 6 countries. Currently, I have a television show that aired in East Africa, the Middle East, and in Europe. I can say on a weekly basis, I speak to 85 million youth. I am not bragging. I am not inflating figures. I am using my strength. What I know I do, I can use. My question is, what can you do? What can you say you know at your group, at your organization, in your school, in your neighborhood? Name one thing you do to show you're smart. Number 9, be a leader. Scholarship judges are always looking for leaders. Leaders are people who show ability. Leaders are people who show promise. Leaders are people who show exemplification. Now, let me explain this also. Leaders doesn't necessarily mean you need to be voted to some organization or somebody need to crown you. But if you've been leading out in your community as helping to lead a cleanup campaign, if you've been at your church volunteering to help the homeless, if you've been at your work helping to help single parents, if you've been helping kids in the afternoon preparing for their examination, those are leadership qualities. You've taken the initiative to lead that. That's something you can note, something you can say, and something you can do. It's not inflating. It's not spinning the truth. It's not lying. It's positioning yourself to win. Then number 10, know and list your stars. Now, if you've gotten some outstanding things that you've accomplished through your lifetime, I'm not talking about getting 100% attendance credits from kindergarten through high school, because that's understood. But if among the many things that you can note that you're strong at, you could name 3 and then position yourself strong in those 3 areas, you can definitely put together a strong scholarship application. Your scholarship application is the only piece of information that's apart from your grades and your references and your transcript that gives you color, character, and characteristics. The judges want to see that. Earlier I was talking about purple cow. Now imagine with me for a moment that you are driving through a country road, or you're in the back dam, or you're in some village somewhere in the remotest part of the world, where you're passing huge pastures of cow. And there are cows over there, and all of these cows are black and white. But out of the blue, you see a purple cow standing at the corner of the street. Would that surprise you? Would that would that call out to you? Would that scream to you? Would that stand out? Would that be something that you'd be willing to stop, reverse, and look again? Now consider your scholarship application just like that. Judges are given millions or thousands or hundreds of scholarship application each and every day to look at. What is the defining thing that makes your scholarship application to stand out? What is the defining thing that make your scholarship application unique? And what's the reason why they should award you their pot of money? When you've realized that, you would understand why it's important to build winning applications. Anybody could put together a list of transcripts, a list of references. They can fill in all of the forms in the application sheet, and they can submit that. But not everybody is gonna make it past the gatekeeper. Not everybody is gonna make it past the first cut. Not everybody is gonna make it to the small committee who select the winner. In order for you to be outstanding, in order for you to be successful, you have to learn those secrets. You have to master the art of positioning. And that's why I wanted to make available to you a copy of my book, Learn the Secrets to Study at US Colleges and Universities. The only thing we are saying to you is cover your own shipping costs. Wherever you are in the world, we're making the book available for free. Right below this video would have a link where you can click and get a copy of my book. I've written this book and I've put in the book a list of 200 scholarships that are solely for international students. I've also listed over 200 universities that set aside money for international students. This is for you. And my goal is to give you an opportunity to make a difference in your life. When I win my first scholarship, it made a difference in my life. It showed me clearly that even though I was kicked out of high school, even though I was rejected at the first time I made a university application, that I had a promise, that I had a future, and that something significant matters. In order for you to learn these steps, in order for you to learn this, and in order for you to move yourself forward, I'm going to encourage you to get yourself a copy of this book. It's a great book, and it has in it over 200 scholarships that you can start applying for tomorrow. And more importantly, it teaches you the secrets to position yourself, to package yourself, to market yourself, and to win. That's our goal, to help you to get ahead, to help you to win, and to move to your next level. Until next time, enjoy. Make a difference in your world today.